cooking is my coffee being done. I just got up. Welcome to the vlog, guys. I'm actually holding this phone backwards from the way I'm normally doing because I've got it in my left hand. But figured it's been a while since I flipped an egg on here. Let's see how this goes. Fixed. It's Sunday, it's noon. I slept until 11:30. I woke up a couple of times this morning and stared at my phone and stuff, but I didn't get out of bed. You're thinking, oh yeah, that's right. The family went to Grandma and Grandpa's and Dan had the weekend to himself, which is something that never happens. I actually don't know what time Kacy and the kids are getting home. I know this, I'm going to continue to enjoy the quiet in the house. I think I'm gonna go downstairs, eat my breakfast, put some pepper on this. Yeah. And I've got some toast over here in the toaster. Butter that up. I'm not gonna do much today, so I'll probably see you when the family gets home. Well, I missed you so much. So as you can see, everybody is home, and Kacy and I are currently unloading all that mountain of stuff that has to go every time we travel somewhere. Hey, Shuggy Bears, are you happy to be home? Yeah, okay. Are you happy to be going to Disney World? It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a long time though.
I need to get her pants on.
Yeah. I'm gonna take her down to her table right now to get her set up. I'm using my corn holder. See that? That's a corn holder. To pick up little tiny pieces of pork tenderloin that I just grilled. I am in here to get myself another piece. Kacy came home with some corn from her mom and dad's. When you live in the Midwest of the United States, in the corn belt, by the way, spinning the corn on the butter, this is the greatest time of the year because butter and salt. Oh! Oops. My butter just came off. It's fine. Most of it's still on there. See? Still buttery. We're eating out here on the deck, and this is my fourth piece of corn. It's so good. Oh.
You just don't get better sweet corn
So,
than this.
if you're not from a place that eats corn on the cob very often, you poke these corn holders into your corn and it holds it so you can, yeah. Even though I dropped that one in the water, my hands are completely, I'm taking that from you.
It's really good with sweet corn. It'll like shoot out juice when you bite into it.
Yeah, I almost got hit by, when she took a bite earlier, it like sprayed across at me. This is the peaches and cream corn on the cob. What a 2-week period of time when it's available every summer. And it is the best corn on the cob you will ever have. Look at those little white kernels in there. Kacy's parents sent home a couple of bags, and
well, one is for Ashley and Joy.
I take it and I break, so this is actually half an ear, so I break it in half and then I just boil it in salt water. My happiest food thing about living in the Midwest every summer. It's not the greatest thing to be doing on camera. Who cares? This stuff is phenomenal.
I went ahead and got an extra.
But I will say this, if you're not from the United States, or you're from the United States and you're traveling through the Midwest, or you're going to be traveling during the summer in the middle of July, this is worth planning your trip around. I am not kidding.
This is stuff you can't buy in the store.
It's not. The farmer literally brings it to Kacy's mom and dad's house and drops it off. Picked off, thrown in a sack, brought to their house.
I shucked it myself today.
Mm-hmm. Hey, buddy, how was dinner?
Good.
And ow, oh, I just stubbed my toe on that right there. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Where did you stop me?
Oh, on the bar stool. Ow, I hit my little toe. Don't tickle me, I'm vlogging. So, buddy, hey, what did you... Dominic, what did you get a Mentos for?
Because I cleaned my room and finished my food.
Very good. So how many Mentos did you get?
2.
Just got done feeding Hudsyn down there and then came up and Dominic was like, I get 2 Mentos. Oh, well, good for you, kid. You're so crazy, dude. Like I said, just gave her food, getting ready to change a big old diaper on her. I got to thinking about something. I brought it up a few weeks ago in the vlog, and it was our trip to Panama. We've actually been 3 times, but I want to tell the story of when we left Panama, our 3rd time going, which was crazy. In fact, that being said, let's go. I have to show you this. So when she has a poopy diaper, we mark it on the calendar. So if you saw the episode called Poop Calendar, then you get it, that we mark every time she has one. So you can see, you know, 2 on Sunday the 1st, one a smaller one on Monday, Tuesday, then nothing. And that was actually a big one. And then 1 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Anyway, point is, if I go back in this calendar and show you previous months, you'll see that she's like 2, maybe 3 poops in a day at the most. You see she has days where she doesn't poop. And that's where we have to up her Miralax. Maybe in her 7.5 years of life, maybe 3 or 4 times has she had 4 poops in one day. Let me get her changed and I will tell you the Panama traveling home story. Stretching. Alright. Okay, let's tell the story. Hudsyn, Ann, you ready to tell the Panama story? Here's the thing, we have taken Hudsyn to Panama, the country. So Panama City, Panama, 3 different times for stem cell therapy. I want to say Hudsyn was a little over a year, probably 1.25 years, and we had started looking into stem cell therapy and thought that might be an option. We didn't look at it as a cure, just as something that would help her quality of life. On our first trip, Kacy's parents went with us, so there were 4 of us for the first time going out of the country, and we traveled with our little 1.5-year-old. She got her injections for the week, then we came home, and we saw a marked decrease in her seizures. So after we started the ketogenic diet, we were tracking her seizures going into it, tracking her seizures as she started it, and then when she had her stem cell therapy, we saw a steep decline in the amount of seizures that she was having. She was having 40 to 50 seizures a day. After ketogenic diet combined with the first round of stem cell therapy, we dropped to around 25 seizures a day. And then, oh my goodness, you got it? Okay.
Look at my mouth.
What? What am I supposed to see?
It's empty.
It's empty. Okay. Hey, Daddy's telling a story right now, so you're going to have to sit down and be quiet right here. So then we went a second time, about a year later. It was right after he was born. So I think you were 6 months when we went to Panama. Yeah. Do you remember that trip?
Yeah.
No, you don't. So both kids have actually traveled outside of the country. Both got to travel on their passports. You just don't remember when you flew on an airplane. We'll get you to fly again another day.
Look, I'm touching
You
Hudsyn.
are touching Hudsyn. After the second trip to Panama, her seizures actually dropped to like 1 or 2 a month. And we were able to come off of all seizure meds. It was incredible. And if we could afford to go to Panama every year, we would go. If we could afford to go every 6 months, we would go. Do I think it's a cure? I actually don't, but I think that it makes her life better. Definitely. The third time we went to Panama was, it still was beneficial for her. We did see a small improvement in her quality of life, but in that year's time, that from that second trip to Panama when her seizures went away, they changed the formula for... Oh, are you ready to go to bed? All right, I'll meet you in your bed. Daddy's got to finish the story, okay? Okay. So between the second and third times of going to Panama, the ketogenic formula company changed the formula of their formula. And because of that, all of a sudden, it was like that month that we had the new cans of ketogenic formula coming in, that her seizures started to slowly come back. So we said, I think we need to go to Panama again. And we had to start her back on a seizure med, which she's still on. It sucks they changed the recipe. It is what it is. And it's not just us. There were other families that were affected by that change in the ketogenic recipe. So here's where the fun story comes in, and why we're talking about the poop calendar to start this. Do you remember how fun this was coming back from Panama? We were there from like Saturday to Saturday, and I want to say it was Wednesday. There was another family that went with us with another child. Their daughter's much like Hudsyn, so they were down there also for stem cell therapy, and we were sharing a condo for the week. Basically, he had taken the key. They went out to go somewhere in Panama City for the day, and we were out, and it turns out that he had the only key that we could get into the building with, let alone into the apartment. And Kacy and I didn't realize that he had the only key until we were getting back from where we were. And like a rainstorm was hitting, and we were like a half a block away from our condo. And we had to run in the rain, and we ran in, we got under the awning, and the door guy actually let us into the building, but we had to sit in the lobby because we didn't have a key to the apartment. And while we were sitting in the lobby, Hudsyn had a massive diaper. We had already changed her diaper twice while we were out, and we had only brought 2 diapers with us in the small bag that we had. We weren't expecting to be gone as long as we were. I mean, we just went and got lunch, and then we were going to come right back, and we had to change her diaper twice while we were out, and we had no wipes. We were completely out of wipes, so we had to take her to the like pool level of the building and change her on the pavement of the pool, grabbing paper towels and wetting them down and trying to clean her up. And it was, so that was our one poop scenario on that trip. Well, it also turns out that Kacy actually was leaving earlier, so she left on Thursday night, and we were still there till Saturday, and she had to fly home because she had business to do. She had work to do, and we had already planned that, I'd stay the extra 2 days, and then Hudsyn and I would fly home. Thursday afternoon, Kacy leaves, goes to the airport, and flies out. Thursday, Hudsyn and I go to the mall that is several blocks away, and I go to the ATM that I had already used a couple days prior to get some cash out. We're going to eat some lunch and just hang out, and the ATM keeps my debit card, because we had forgotten to tell the bank that my card was going to be being used out of country. And so this ATM just suspected that it was a theft situation and kept my card, and I was totally locked out of my account, and it was the only, I didn't have a credit card on me. Kacy had the credit cards, Kacy had her debit card that the bank already knew about, but mine was gone, and Hudsyn and I were SOL in Panama with like no money. Fortunately, the other family that was there with us paid for the meals, and we paid them back when we got back home. And then when we flew home on Saturday, it was just, we were all on the same flight, but we were in separate seats. So Hudsyn and I are next to each other. It was from Panama to Houston, and then Houston to Kansas City. And on the flight from Panama to Houston, Hudsyn had 2 poopy diapers, which was interesting because she was still about 40 pounds. She's almost 50 pounds now, but she was still close to, she's probably 35 pounds, but she was still a pretty good sized girl. She was not gonna fit on the changing table in the airplane bathroom, which is like this big, and she's like that big. The flight attendants actually close the curtain in the back of the plane, and I have to change her on the floor. And then in Houston, we had a delay of our flight. We did not make our flight, and we got delayed, so we were stuck there for an extra 2 hours. And she had a big poopy diaper in the Houston airport, and I was down to 2 diapers and just a sliver of wipes because the poops that she had were so big. I was using like so many wipes. I actually reached out to another family who happened to be sitting in the same area as us, and I saw that they had like a toddler and a baby, and I said, is there any way that I could borrow some wipes from you? And then from Houston to Kansas City, she had 2 more poopy diapers, which was the last of, literally used the last wipe on her on that airplane. And that was the last diaper. So she had 5 poops in one day, which was insane for us. It was like this trip from hell. It was a rough trip to Panama, we'll just put it that way. But she got her stem cell therapy, and we got home, we lived through it, and it is a funny story to this day, but it was so hard going through it that day. And if there's any lesson to be learned from this, it would be that whatever your hard day is, chances are it's gonna be a good story. So sometimes when you're in the middle of a really stressful situation, just try to think of it in the future tense and be like, this is gonna be a good story. That being said, the poop story's over. This is a weird vlog. I'm gonna monetize it, but I'm sure it's gonna get demonetized because of the subject matter, but whatever. I had to tell that story. But as you see, Hudson's asleep. Dominic, I gotta go tuck him in. Kacy's got work to do. I'm gonna come down here and just hang out for the evening. Wink, wink. Guys, remember, to the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. So go be somebody's world, and sometimes that means changing 5 poopy diapers when you're down to the last of your wipes and diapers. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please click the bell icon so that you get notified when we post. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw and you want to join the Hopesters, then click the little purple and white link that's down here. And if you want to watch yesterday's episode, try the link that's right over here. And if you want to watch one that YouTube picks for you, then click the one down here. And I hope we see more of you seeing more of us.